Raise a glass to what happened and forget time we were lacking. Yeah, we never passed to say hi.
Let this be our final goodbye.
Hey, Kenneth Irwin here, owner and founder of Breaking Boundaries Enterprises. Some of you know who I am, some of you don't. Some of you know me as the K-Man, the creator behind songs like Calm Before the Storm, Judgment Day, Roll the Dice, and the very recent single, Final Goodbye, which that is pretty much the reason for this video is because of that song. There's been a few people since its release that's had a few questions, want to know what the song is about, why it was really written, and why it was worded the way it was. It's all fair questions, and hopefully I'll be able to answer those questions for you. Pretty much the song originally, when I first started writing it was a dedication to my father who had passed away a couple years ago. Back on January 6th of 2014, I was awakened by a phone call by a family member that was telling me that my father had passed. Later I found out that it was due to a drug overdose of Lortabs and Oxycontin. So, about a year ago, I decided that because I never did get to say goodbye, that I would write this song as my final goodbye to him. Because truth be told, the last time I spoke to him was probably about 2 weeks before he passed. And even then, it wasn't really a big conversation. It was just a, hey, how's it going? Everything doing good? Bye type scenario. And I didn't really want to leave it at that. Plus, there was questions on my mind that never got answered and probably never will get answered, but I needed them out there just so I could finally let go. But at the same time, I didn't want to write a song that was just about me or him. I wanted something that everybody could relate to. Because death is not the only time that we can't say goodbye to somebody. Be it a bad breakup or somebody moving or new job or whatever. We all have somebody that we never got to say final goodbye to. So I wrote the song using 3 experiences of my life to try to convey a message that everybody could understand and could relate to and could say, yeah, this is my final goodbye to whoever. That's the reason why I wrote about the kid that, can't even really call him a kid because he was 21 at the time, but leading up to his final days, we had a disagreement to where we never did get to say goodbye. I told him to go on and never speak to me again, basically. It's a nice way of putting it. And unfortunately, not long after, a crackhead took his life. And the other situation was, I was in a relationship with a woman that I loved very much, but because of things in my past and things in hers, we had to move on, we had to go our own separate ways. We were cool with each other and very friendly and never had a problem with each other, but we never did get to have that goodbye that we should have had. So that was my way of saying goodbye to her as well. And my way of letting y'all say your goodbyes to whoever. in that situation. But going back to the originality of the song, like I said, it was originally about my father who had died of drug overdose, and we never really knew exactly what the final breaking point was. We can speculate, but I know events leading up to it. It started probably, I'd say, with the death of his mother. She died of a brain tumor back in 2004, and that kind of shook him up a bit. I mean, he got through it all right, but you could always see it pained him. Then about a year later, Hurricane Katrina came along and pretty much almost wiped the town that we were living in off the map. It took a lot of lives of people that we cared about as well. And that's when it really sunk in and he started going downhill. He started drinking a little bit more. I mean, growing up, it wasn't nothing for him to, after work, maybe have one or two beers, and on the weekends, maybe have a couple of beers while barbecuing or whatnot. I mean, he deserved it. He pretty much was killing himself most of his life, working from sunrise to sunset, doing plumbing and other construction work, trying to provide for a household of 5 people in a 3-bedroom home, and him being the only one working at the time. But after Katrina, that's whenever it started going downhill. Eventually, he'd start cutting out work half a day and going drinking, and then got into the Lortabs and Oxycontin, and it was pretty much history from that. But that's where some of the lyrics came in, where pretty much, especially the one that hits the hardest is probably, which is a question that's lingered on my mind since he passed, was there's a lyric in there that says, was it really Williams or was it Heath Ledger? And that goes to how both of those people died. We all know that Robin Williams took his life. It was suicide. And Heath Ledger, his was supposed to be an accidental overdose. And so most people, whenever they think of my father's death, they think it was an accidental overdose. He would never do anything like that, and so far and so forth, which is possible. And we'd all like to think that, but there's still that 1% in the back of my mind that could it be that he just finally had a breaking point. I mean, he had the death of his mother, he had Katrina, then leading up to right before his death, months prior to that, his only son moved 600 miles away, even though I was working at the time trying to get to that point to where he would never have to worry about working again if he didn't want to. But anyways, I still had that lingering thought, was it actually a suicide? I know some people will agree with it, some people won't. Some people, part of my language, will be pissed off at me for even bringing up that subject, bringing up the fact that it being even a possibility, but it's there. So that pretty much is the reasoning behind a lot of the lyrics in that verse and pretty much throughout the whole song. But like I said, I didn't want it to be solely on our situation. I wanted to make it personal for everybody to relate to. And hopefully it does. Hopefully it helps a lot of people, because that's one thing through all my works, regardless if it's songs, books, videos, whatever. I'm here trying to help people get through whatever situations that they are in at the time. And if my works if that helps them, then that's great. But before I ramble on much longer, I just want to say thank you for everybody that has shown tremendous love and support through all my projects and all the years of the ups and downs of not only trying to get my company started, but just anything in particular. Thank you very much. It's very humbling, and I return the love tenfold to you. You're always here in my heart. So thank you for that. If there's any other questions or maybe something that I didn't cover about this song or just anything in particular, feel free to contact me. Got plenty of ways on social media to do it. You got Facebook, you got Twitter, you got LinkedIn, you got my company's website, which I do have my own personal page on there. Send me a message through it. Send a message through my company's email. I can't make no promises that I'll get back with everybody about everything. I mean, between business and just life in general, it's impossible to keep up with everything, but I will do my best to answer any and all questions that you have. So feel free to contact me. Guess that's it. Just keep on trying to live the dream, live your dream. And every chance you get, X the boundaries and live in the moment. Stay tuned for other projects coming your way. And take it easy.
We never planned to say hi.
Let this be our final goodbye.